Hey, listen to CCO Podcast, episode 290. I'm Brando. I'm here with Ryan. We're going to kick off the Arc and Breaking the Mold of the Blue Deck. Now hit our theme song! Hey, Ryan. We're back for yet another whirlwind adventure. How you doing?
We are back. What is going down?
A whole ton is going down. We're starting off a brand new arc. I got this cool little stuffed seal to play with. We're back in Studio CCO. We got some stories to tell, some people to thank, a public service message to deliver. But before we get to any of that, we have to thank our official business, Daddy'sFusionGamingOnline.com, your source for all your gaming needs.
Oh, yes! And I forgot to tell you. New promo code.
Oh.
New year, new us. We're a month late. But like I say to my wife, better late than never.
Yes.
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 New promo code. Same great deal on the stuff you're going to buy anyways. You use the new promo code CCO Spring to get yourself 5% off the stuff that you're going to buy anyways.
CCO Spring, like the season that's coming up.
Yes, we're encouraging the weather to fuck off.
We are. We really are. I didn't get stuck on my way out here today.
No,
which is nice.
my neighbor snowblowed it all with his Bobcat hydraulic snowblower.
I saw where I got stuck though. The snow was like this deep.
Yes,
which doesn't look like much, but that's a lot of snow.
That's
for
a lot of
car to plow through.
For a tiny car. Yes, and now it's flat.
Yes, now it's a road.
Super good. I didn't even put pants on before Brando got here because I knew he wasn't going to get stuck.
Yeah.
So, CCO Spring, that's the new code. We're switching it up for spring. We're springing into a new arc, like you said in the intro. We're springing into spring soon, and you can get 5% off. I just had an order show up. What did I get?
All that stuff you were telling me about last week?
No.
Foil taint strike and...
Oh, no. I ordered a pillar of Perunes. Pillar of the Perunes. You get a mana of any color, but you got to spend it on a multicolor spell. I got one for Aiden to trade him. I'm doing some trading. I told him I had it, and I just got it at Fusion.
You know who does have those?
Me. Soon? Aiden.
You know how many I have?
5.
6, actually.
6. You have good counting.
I bought those thinking that they were going to be really, really good, and they actually are pretty good. But I mean,
they're actually kind of expensive. Good thing I saved 5%.
Truth, they're expensive now. When I got them, like when they were printed in Guild Pact or whatever, and they were a bulk rare at the time. And I just thought like I'm gonna play these in lots of EDH decks, and then I play them in no EDH decks.
You got to play them in all multicolored decks, like Aiden's new Boros deck.
Yeah, oops, all gold. That's a cool deck.
Oh man, I wish I had all gold. Like in real life.
Oh, yeah, me too.
No.
Oh, yeah, I wish I had like a gold. Like one big one. That'd be good.
So I got a story to tell. This is a short story, then we'll get into some magic stuff. We're sitting on the couch yesterday. We're watching like, not home and garden television, because we were watching like YTV or Nickelodeon or something, but it was like a kid's version of home and garden where they like make over a backyard with like zip lines and tree forts and stuff like that, right?
Shit.
Yeah, so
just to make your kid all antsy that he wants all that stuff and then gets mad at you when you don't have it.
Well, yeah, it was just a commercial we saw and the kid was like, I want a roller coaster in my yard, right? and then my kid was like, I want a roller coaster, and I was like, me too.
And Rebecca was like, no.
And I said, you know what? A roller coaster would probably cost like $10 million, like not even kidding, like with the liability and the engineering, and I got the room for it. Like I got 4.5 acres.
So you could put
a decent roller coaster in my yard. So I Googled it, like what is the average price of a roller coaster? $8 million, it turns out.
Wow.
And I said to the boy, I says,
that's not even for like a brand name one, like I want the Mind Bender, or I want the Nightmare, or
Tatsu,
I want
or something.
The Superman.
Yeah.
That's a real one, I think. It was the fastest one on Earth for a while, right? And the tallest. It just
shoots
you right up into
that was something else. That was like
in space. It's a superhero name. I know.
Anyway,
whatever.
Anyways, I say, Dad doesn't have 8 million of anything. I probably have 8 million like granules of like gravel in my driveway.
Most likely.
Probably have 8 million grains of dirt in my garden. That's a definite.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely got 8 million of those. Maybe there's 8 million blades of grass in my yard. But I don't even know. Like,
your lawn is not super lush, so I don't know if you have 8 million.
It's getting there.
Well, it'll get there soon. But as it stands right now,
I don't even have 8 million of those.
facts is facts, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, man. So probably not going to get a roller coaster.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. The liability, hey?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want the neighbor's kids to.
Well, then don't let the neighbor's kids on it.
Just us, hey?
Yeah.
You got to sign this waiver and pay me like $1 million if you want to ride. I got like 8 neighbors and get $1 million from each one. Wouldn't that be the life?
That'd pay off your roller coaster.
Oh.
Right? I mean, there it is right there.
Charge them interest if they don't like pay me back soon enough because I got to take out a loan. Man.
You get the payment up front and then you don't have to. Right? Like man, I got to do all the thinking around
guess,
here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, fuck, join the club. I got to do all the thinking.
Let's talk about roller coasters, roller coaster rides.
Oh, good segue.
Oh, because I went on one over the last...
I thought you were going to segue into what this is.
Oh.
Look at, they came in.
The first grouping of them. There's a roller coaster on this. That was the segue Ryan thought that I was making, but I wasn't. We're going to make another roller coaster segue in a minute.
Yeah, why do I have to do all the thinking?
But they're here, and we're going to start signing them, and then we're going to start getting them shipped out to you.
We're waiting on the t-shirts and the tokens to be pressed and printed. Yeah, that can be yours. I hope that the microphone picked up the sound that made when it hit the ground.
It was a very funny sound. I hope so too. Okay. The roller coaster ride that I went on this week. The last few weeks. Do you remember a couple weeks ago on the show?
Yeah.
You got very cross with me for almost buying a box of double feature. Remember that?
Yes.
Remember that? Talked me out of it.
Oh, this is a proverbial roller coaster.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to do it.
Oh,
I'm not
good.
Set's huge. I want 4 cards out of it.
You didn't.
So I'm not going to buy a box. I'm not.
Oh, you didn't.
Yep.
Okay.
So I went down to my LGS. I said, Aaron, LGS guy, here's the list of 4 cards I got. I don't know how much of this you plan to open, but if you open any of these,
I want these ones.
I would like them, please.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for 4 foils that are rare.
Ooh.
Okay. So the odds of getting them are pretty slim, but he opened 1 box and one of them pops out.
Oh.
Okay. So he got two silver screen foil rares, and I was predicting. Here's what I'm wrong about.
And those are the ones you want, right?
Yep, silver screen foils. Here's what I was predicting. Silver screen rares were gonna look really cool, because I figured they were gonna go back to like that really silvered, like.
Oh yeah, almost like anything that would be white on the card is actually just a mirror.
Yeah, like from the vault, like really shiny foil.
Yeah,
they're etched.
No,
silver screen foiling is foiled etched.
Oh.
So
I did this in the pre-show. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah. And so the rare, keep in mind, this foil rare, of the 2 foil rares he opened out of the box, he gave me for free because it looked so shitty. And
that's even better than CCO Spring promo code.
Right. And I was going to buy a few of the packs, but then we looked at them, and if you buy a pack of double feature, you get like, I think it's 6 cards from each set, and then 2 rares from each set, and 1 foil. However the hell that works.
Yeah, whatever it is.
And here's what you can buy instead of that. Oh. You can buy a pack of Midnight Hunt. And a pack of Crimson Vow.
Like set boosters?
Just draft boosters.
Oh, okay, sure.
These are draft boosters is what double feature is.
Oh, yeah, because it's a draftable product. Yeah, okay.
And you can go to the soda machine and buy a pop.
Ooh.
Instead of buying a single pack of double feature. And you're going to get the same number of rares, more uncommons, more commons.
We're going to get twice as many cards.
No washed out cards, and about the same chance of getting the foil rare that you actually want.
I'll do's you one-ups. I do. Okay. Okay. Scratch buying 1 double feature pack. Buy 2. But instead of buying 2, you can get a Midnight Hunt, you can get a Crimson Vow, and you can go to Bugsy's, the lounge right next to the store in the mall.
Yeah.
Not the Coach, because they got a different special on Thursdays, but the special on Thursdays at Bugsy's, $8 schooners. Pack of Midnight Hunt, pack of Crimson Vow, $8 schooner.
Boom.
It's a good ass deal.
And you still have $3 left over for that soda.
Oh.
Also, let's say you buy a box of Crimson Vow, of double feature. Let's say a box of it. You could buy a box of Midnight Hunt, a box of Crimson Vow. You get 3 times as many packs, and you still have $50.
Man. Okay, so here's the thing.
This is the public service announcement. I was wrong about those foils looking cool because they suck. Because it's colored art that looks like it's been Xeroxed and put on a card.
That was a complaint that people had when the Crimson Vow and Midnight Hut lands came out. Is not all of the art is necessarily made to be black and white. Black and white art looks really good when it's intended to be black and white. When it's color and then they just black and white it. It's like, that's why black and white TV look good, because it was lit different. And if you take like color TV and just make it black and white, it's lit for color.
Yeah, it looks weird.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is, and I hate saying this, but I'm going to, this is the product that people should make a stand on and not buy it. I never say that, and there are other content creators out there who are saying this as well, so I'm not alone. Just let this collect dust somewhere to send a message to... I mean, it sucks the stores have to get it first, but the distributors and WotC on top of them. This sucks, and avoid it at all costs.
Well, it was already delayed once.
Yeah.
So it was already delayed. It was already being launched on the same day as like other decks, like competitive decks for a different format. And it's already being passed over because Commander Collection Black launches yesterday.
Yeah, same day.
I'm going today, but what I meant was yesterday.
Yeah.
So, and we already got that. I'm already seeing those get opened online. And Neon Dynasty is coming out like in 1 hour from now.
Yeah, so we've got lots coming up, and there's a better product out right now. That, again, costs you less, and you're going to get more play out of, so please avoid it if you can. It's so bad.
This is the final thing we'll say on it, is when we hit 3,000 subs and we're doing our biggest giveaway ever,
we will not give away double feature.
We probably won't be giving this away unless we get like a box for free.
Yeah, and even then, we might just do a YouTube video where we like throw a Molotov cocktail at it. You got a big yard, we could do that.
We could explode some stuff.
Yes, if you want to see us blow up a box of double feature, we will. Blow it up.
Man, I want to blow something up now.
With an explosion. We'll blow it up with an explosion.
Man, that would be the coolest video ever.
Yeah, that's what.
Let us know in the comments below if you want us to blow up something.
Yeah, like we'll do it.
I just blew up the mic.
So, but that aside, we've got a great arc coming up. We got a really cool deck to talk about, sent in by our man A. Buckley.
Yeah.
He tastes awful and he works. Just like the taste that's going to be left over in your mouth after you lose to this deck.
Yeah, okay, so couple things. We've got a pack to give away. This is the podcast Biznatch. Okay.
Oh, yeah, right.
From guessing Vadrock, which was wrong, but leaving a comment on any of the content last week would have gotten you entered to win a pack. If you're interested in winning free boosters and this is your first episode of Commander Cookout, welcome. Watch the pre-shows on Monday where we give hints for commanders. You guess right, you get entered in, you could win booster packs. Probably not double feature booster packs, but we got some good ones in there.
We have actual good ones. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if your name and or initials and or YouTube handle is totally real name, BM, the letter B, the letter M.
Really?
Get it? Yeah.
BM?
BM.
Because I had Arby's for supper last night, and I had a good BM after that, let me tell you. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
CommanderCookout@gmail.com. Let us know it's you. On our system or else you're going to ruin it for everybody. Mm-hmm. Let us know your address when you send us the email and we'll get you down. We send everything out at the end of the month. Patreon sign-up gifts, stickers, Brando tokens, proxies, altars, and booster packs all go out at the end of the month. And speaking of which...
Oh, shit.
We have a new patron.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the benefits is the Brando altars or the CCO stickers as a thank you gift.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And your CCO nickname.
Oh, yeah. Benefit.
Benefit.
I'm going to use the air quotes, which you would have seen if you're watching on YouTube, which you fucking should be, because this is a very special episode because we're in Studio CCO. We have a green screen behind us, and editor Joe works really hard to make us look cool, which, as we've said, is a full-time job.
Full-time job for Joe to make these guys look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, new patron. We got it right when we were doing the pre-show, and I entered it into the notes, remember?
Oh, yeah, we did it live on the pre-show.
Yeah. Jason Schiller.
Jason Schiller.
Yeah, he was happy that we pronounced his name right. And he said as much, so you're welcome. We take pride in being able to at least say your name correctly before we destroy it and publicly make fun of you.
Before we pillory it.
Pillory it?
Yeah, pillory, that's where you put the guy in the thing, I think, or you put him on a stick and you throw rocks at him. Or tomatoes. Snowballs.
Like on the Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Yeah. I think that's what that is.
Yeah, they tie him up and they throw tomatoes at him.
Pillory people. It's a thing.
Jason Pillory?
Yeah.
Instead of Jason Schiller, he's Jason Pillar.
Yeah.
Jason has a huge pillar.
Jason loves pillar.
Yeah. Jason smells like.
All pill, no filler.
No, we already have a... we already have an all filler, no Miller, or MGD, Miller Genuine Draft. We already have a Miller.
Yeah. This is like a
But this could be pillar, and I do love a good pill.
I know, which is just tragic. It's tragic. It's tragic. You're a respectable person that drinks pill.
All shill, no pill. That's what his name is. There it is. All shill, no pill, because he might not like Pilsner.
He seems like a classy gentleman, even though he listens to us. So he probably does, yeah.
Okay, well, all pill, no fill. All fill, no pill.
All shill, no pill.
Okay, I'll get it one of these days.
We did it. Welcome aboard an FU.
Very much so. Now, New Arc.
New Arc,
first deck submitted by Anthony Bockley. This is a buckhole on Discord. Another benefit to becoming a patron is Discord access. He submitted this deck, and Brando and I were talking before we even saw this deck about what decks look like. We were talking about last week's bonus episode where we're talking about like the efficiency trend and everybody like channeling kind of most of their deck into a shell. It's got to have so many sweepers and so many removals and only these mana rocks, and it's a little bit stifling because the card pool feels smaller.
Yeah.
Not because we have to play the most ultra efficient competitive stuff, but because we're used to these things being the best versions and everything else gets pushed aside.
Yeah.
So we picked today's deck because it both demonstrates this a little bit. Mm-hmm. The shell of the deck looks like the shell of many other decks.
Like I said in the intro, it's a blue deck.
It's a blue deck. But we also picked this deck because it does a blue thing in a very different way.
They're a real screwball way.
So we're doing Arc and Decktech, so let's give him a read. We'll give.
Oh wait, I have it on my super professional phone here. Hang on.
Good.
Hang on, there it is. Arc and Decktech is a 2/2 human artificer for blue 3. Has tap, target artifact creature's controller sacks it. That player may search their library for a non-creature artifact, put it into play, then shuffle.
Oh. So it's a tutor. It's a blue tutor commander.
It's a blooter.
A blooter. That sounds dirty.
That does sound really dirty. We should Google that to see if it is dirty. Somebody out there Google it for us. Put it in the comments. But try and keep it a little clean. We don't want to... You know what? It's the comments.
It's the comments.
The comments aren't... Yeah, it's fine.
So we're doing the blue thing. We've got the blue kind of efficiency shell that we're going to demonstrate. And then we're going to tell you how this deck breaks that mold. And what are we calling it? The Arc of Breaking the Mold?
The Arc of Breaking the Mold.
Arc of Breaking the Mold. And we're going to do it today because this is a mono blue Doomsday deck. Doomsday, of course, the ultra famous sorcery originally from Weatherlight.
Yeah, I believe so.
That says, shuffle your graveyard into your library, search your library for 5 cards.
I think it's 7, isn't it?
It's 5.
Is it 5?
It's 5. Okay. Exile the rest of your library, put those 5 cards on the top of your library in any order. So essentially, you just get all the cards in your deck, get them all out of here, get your 5-card win combo pile and like a draw spell in your hand so you can start drawing it into whatever your win con is. Could be a combo, could be like Empty Library, Lab Maniac, could be, like 1-card infinite combo with a bunch of backup that you can draw that'll combo with your commander. There's all different ways to win with Doomsday.
Did I tell you I tried to build a Doomsday deck once?
Yeah.
Did I tell you I was going to call it Bloomsday? Like blue hyphen msday.
Okay.
And it was the pile was gonna be like 3 things to make me draw 1 card.
Yes.
Some way of making infinite mana out here, and then Blue Sun Zenith, so I could just like draw everybody out.
Yeah.
But then once I had everything kind of conceptualized, I was like, I don't like this.
It's a Doomsday deck.
This is not the way I like to do Magic. So I just ended up not building it or even really talking about it. And then we actually ended up doing a deck on the show that was sort of in the same vein, and that kind of just cleansed it from my system.
Got your rocks off.
And just never, I talked about the combo, and therefore I never had to build it myself, which was cool.
Oh, well, let's get into some cards. This is a Doomsday deck. It's not the CEDH Doomsday deck, but it is the blue Doomsday deck.
Yeah, keeping in mind that we can't play Doomsday because Doomsday's black.
Oh, I didn't say that, did I?
I think it costs what, like black. It gets black. You
It's
can't
as
be
black
playing-
as you get.
You definitely don't play it in mono blue. Definitely don't.
And that's why we're breaking the mold, because we're going to show you how you can actually do that.
Jesus.
All right. So we've got the deck up. We've got custom categories. Thank you very much, Anthony, for doing that. We for anybody who sends in decks either to commandercookout@gmail.com or on the Discord, very helpful for us to know what the hell's going on. It's a Moxfield deck, and I didn't know how to get the custom tags. So I was like puzzling. What is that? How does it work? What does it do? And I messaged Anthony. I'm like, I think it's this. Can you please confirm?
Yeah, I was trying to do the exact same thing last night, except it was like 11 o'clock and I didn't want to message anybody because they're asleep. So I just like forced myself to figure it out.
Yes.
And I eventually got there. But then when I found the custom categories this morning, I felt like a goon.
Yeah.
So first we're going to do some shell stuff. These are things that you'll just see in a blue deck.
This is the mold.
This is I want to build a mono blue deck. Here's every mono blue deck.
And I think that it's important to both demonstrate that it's good to do this because this is the blue deck. And and when you build the blue deck, it's good. Because blue is a good color and it has good card advantage and good removal and good card draw. But it does have some baggage and it is samey and people don't always like getting their stuff countered, all that stuff, right? We're going to talk about that when we get to strengths and weaknesses more. But first, we want to do, what do you think, card advantage, card draw?
We're going to do card draw, card advantage. We're going to bang through these because most of them are cards that you've probably seen a lot. We have Brainstorm.
That draws 3, puts 2 back.
Consider.
Oh, foil considers? I think you get foil considers, right? Because those cards are going to be expensive like foil preordains.
Probably.
It's look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard, then draw a card, right?
Yes. Surveil? You surveil one.
I guess it's surveil without saying it, right?
Yeah.
Important that it's blue and it's an instant. Just blue mana, instant.
Next up, we have Dig Through Time.
Look at 7, pick 2, got Delph.
Deep Anal.
Oh, man, Deep Anal. Yep.
What were they thinking when they knew we were eventually going to make a show? They knew that.
They knew.
And they named it Deep Anal anyway.
You know what? That's on them.
Yep.
That's on them.
They did this.
Blue 3, target player draws 2. And it's got flashback, pay 3 life, blue 1. That's a good one.
That's a good card.
That's a good one.
Frantic Search.
Draw 2, discard 2, untap 3 lands?
Correct. Gitaxian Probe.
Oh, Gitaxian Probe might be important if you're tapped out and trying to draw a card. Because it's, look at target player's hand, draw a card, Phyrexian Blue.
So that's 2 life.
2 life, and you can cast it for free.
Yeah.
Ooh, that might be important.
Yes. Opt.
Scry 1, draw a card, that's like consider.
Gush.
Gush might be important too. That's a very common like top of the Doomsday pile because you return 2 islands you control to their owner's hand rather than paying its 5 mana cost.
Oh.
And you draw 2 cards. So you can draw almost half your Doomsday pile traditionally. Our Doomsday piles here in this deck going to be a little bit smaller.
Yeah,
so Gush could Gush at instant speed, mind you.
Yes.
Might be able to draw your entire Doomsday pile. Very important card.
Pretty good. Preordain.
Scry 2, draw 2? Something like that?
Scry 2, draw card.
Sure.
Silver Raven.
What?
It's a 1/1 for 1 with flying, comes into play, scry 1.
Oh, so it's like Scry 1 for blue.
Yeah. Treasure Cruise.
Draw 3, delve. It's got like delve, it costs 8, but it really fucking costs 1.
It costs 1. Thopter Spy Network.
Man, I never remember what this card does.
Beginning of your upkeep, if you control an artifact, you get a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. Mm-hmm. And whenever 1 or more artifact creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Oh.
This could be Bident of Thassa, I think. Maybe. I mean, it doesn't give you creatures, but you draw more cards with Bident if you already have creatures. But that's something we can talk about.
This deck don't have very many creatures, though. 1.
Yeah.
2, Bident of Thassa is searchable with Arc and Decktech.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Windfall.
Each player discards their hand, then draws cards equal to the greatest number a player did discard this way. That's a good card.
That is good, yes. So now let's talk about some mono blue control pieces.
Sure, mono blue control. This is, I guess, the other half of the shell. These are the ones that you would expect to see in blue decks. Now, caveat, this deck only costs like $87.
Yes.
Which is awesome because it's like a unique combo deck that only costs $87.
Yeah.
If I was going to build a mono blue deck like no budget, there'd best be some Force of Wills, Force of Negations, Pact of Negations, Mana Drains, right?
Yeah, we're playing all of the blue usual suspects, if you will, but not the, I don't want to say CDH ones, but maybe not the most powerful.
Well, not the most expensive one, because you can't say that Counterspell isn't powerful.
Yeah.
Even though it's not as powerful as Mana Drain at the same cost, Counterspell is still awesomely powerful when I counter your Crater Hoof.
Yeah.
Because I'm like tempoing you for 7 mana and you thought you were going to win, but now you don't.
Yeah.
The gap between Counterspell and Mana Drain for the $60 difference is not as big as people think, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Counterspell.
Counter target spell.
Dispel.
Counter an instant spell.
God Pharaoh's Statue.
Look at that. You played this card before.
I did. It's a 6-mana legendary artifact. Spells your opponent's cast cost 2 more.
Oh.
Yikes. And at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses a life.
Oh. 40-turn win con.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Foil.
Not even a foil.
What a piece.
Man, you can't foil your opponents without a foil.
I know.
Counter target spell for 4 mana, or you can discard an island rather than paying its mana cost.
An island and a blue card.
Oh.
Yeah,
way worse than what I said.
Yeah, that's why foil is like 82 cents instead of
Except for foils from Prophecy. Those ones are like $82.
Yes. Misdirection.
That misdirects something or swerves something. Yes. I think you can use your imagination to understand how that card is.
And you can E a BC instead of paying the
exile a blue card from your hand.
Yes, instead of paying its cost. So you can play it. You can E a BC to play it for free.
I think if we're using the abbreviations or the initials, it would have to be E a UC because U is blue.
Well, I'm the one that's making the rules right
now.
E a
BC does sound better.
Yes,
but it's technically or phonetically inaccurate. E a UC. You know what it could be? It could be like EUC.
Speaking of acronyms.
Okay.
Narset, part of V.
Ooh. Don't Google that.
Naughty. She's that plant. She's the Narset.
Yeah, I cast a Narset the other day, and I just got my whole dink stomped. Man, people don't like that card.
No, they do not, especially after you play Windfall on them.
Oh,
yeah.
There is Narset and Windfall both in this deck. Yes. For good reason.
Narset is an enchantment for blue 1. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn, and you can -2, I think.
Yep.
To look at the top 4 cards of your library, put a non-land, non-creature from them into your hand.
Yes.
So she's very good.
She's good card draw mixed with your opponents get no card draw.
Yes.
Saw
it coming.
Counter spell with Foretell.
Negate.
Counter target non-creature spell.
Stoic Rebuttal.
Ooh, counter target spell, but it costs less if you have Metalcraft.
Correct.
Which we will.
Yes. Unwind.
Counter target non-creature spell, untap up to 3 lands. Underrated, because sure, you have to have the 3 mana up front, but it's free.
Yeah, like it's free, sort of.
You got to have the 3 mana up front, but hear me out. You will, because you're keeping all your manas up for your considers and your brainstorms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you'll have a free counterspell.
You still get to counter something, and you still get to brainstorm, and you still get to consider, and you still get to do all that stuff.
Or you still get to counter another spell that isn't free.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you can do that, too.
Because you're going to leave mana up to cast counterspell, but if you also have Unwind? Yeah. Unwind. You can just go Unwind. Oh, loser. Well, yeah, drew out your counterspell. No, it was free, so I still have mana up for another one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole thing.
That's a good one, yeah.
All right, let's talk some ramp.
Now, important to know that Arkham Dagson says target artifact creature's controller sacrifices it. Important for 2 reasons. Our ramp is going to be creatures.
Yes.
Our ramp is going to be creatures because we want to sacrifice them to find a combo piece, A. Mm-hmm. And we didn't mention this, but target artifact creature's controller sacrifices it is removal for artifact creatures. So if your opponent has like a Blightsteel that they not reanimated in, but like cheated in, or if your opponent is using like Ethereum Sculptor and Gleaming Barrier and Hedron Crawler and Silvermere for ramp, like we are.
Yeah.
There's like 4 cards right off the bat. This is like your commander is going to be removal for those.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Double fold, double entendre, menage a deux.
Menage a deuce.
Ooh, don't Google that.
Nah, you can Google away. Google away. Ramp cards.
Ramp cards.
We already said Ethereum Sculptor. We already said Gleaming Barrier.
That when it dies, you get a treasure.
Correct.
So you would sacrifice that, get a treasure. That's why it's ramp, and then you could search for something else with your Arkham.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hedron Crawler.
It taps for a color.
Guardian Idol.
Taps for a color and can become a creature for 2 mana. That's how it works. That's how that one works.
Liquid Metal Torque.
That can make something an artifact. So if you have a creature, you can tap you can sacrifice that creature because you make it an artifact.
You can also...
You could make Arkham an artifact and sacrifice himself, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Target artifact creature's control. You just make Arkham target himself once he's an artifact.
Yeah.
Ooh, good deal.
Yeah, good. And it taps for a colorless also. It's
That's
also
like a 1-card combo with your commandy.
Yeah.
That's a freaking good-ass card.
Liquid Metal Torque is an underrated...
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's underrated anymore.
It's even in the... Ooh, it costs 2. It's so good. Right?
It is I think it and Mindstorm are my favorite at 2 because they do things.
They do stuff. That's fun. That's fun.
Okay, we can, yes.
Mannequin.
That mills you and then gives you a mana, right?
Right. Ornithopter in Paradise.
Taps for a mana of any color.
Moonsilver Key.
That doesn't give you mana, but you can sacrifice it and search for an artifact that gives you mana.
Or a basic land.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Palladium Mirror.
Taps for 2.
Silvermere.
Taps for blue.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Sol Ring.
Also taps for 2. Also can be found by Moonsilver Key if you want to go like mana neutral. I think if you cast Moonsilver Key is 2.
Yes.
2 and then 1. Oh, so you got to spend 3 to get your Soul Ring, but it pays it off in 2 activations.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Which is just fine. So where should we go next? Should we talk about some... Let's do removal.
Let's do removal because it too is part of the blue shell. And there's a couple in here that I really like that I think are underplayed.
Aetherize.
That's the first one that I think is underplayed. Return all attacking creature to owner's hand.
I like that one because it's got Hannah on it. And like, I don't want to be that guy, but that's a really pretty picture.
It's evocative because it's like, what's going on? Like she's in trouble. Yeah. It almost looks like Frank Frazetta. It almost looks like comic book art or like comic book pulp.
And she's blasting some weird crab man with a laser. Like,
yeah,
awesome.
You think that she's in trouble, then you take a second look at the card and it's like, oh wait, no, she's doing the blasting.
Yeah, she's started blasting.
Yeah, so it starts blasting, I do.
Blink of an eye.
Bounce, if you kick it, draw.
It's into the royal.
Yes. Are we also playing into the royal? Doesn't matter.
Let's see. Pongify.
Kill a thing, get a monkey.
Curse of the Swine.
Kill all the things, everybody gets pigs.
Raven form.
Kill a thing, get a bird.
Reality Shift.
Kill a thing, get the top card of your library.
Soul Guide Lantern.
Hey, look at that. Including that with the old removal. Important to say, last CCO's top 5 and 5, graveyard removal. Soul Guide Lantern didn't make my list.
I think, honestly, what did we play on the top 5 and 5? Was it Soul Guide or was it a different lantern?
It was the new one. It was the one where you exile target card when it ETBs and then you sacrifice it, draw a card to exile all graveyards.
Yeah, see, this one has those on 2 different abilities. It comes in, exiles a thing.
Yeah, well, when it enters a battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then it's got tap sack, exile each opponent's graveyard. Mm-hmm. Notice the no draw card on that one. Because the next ability is sacrifice Soul Guide Lantern, draw a card.
Mm-hmm. 1 tap, sack Soul Guide.
Yeah. It exiles on ETB, which is great. That's what the other one does from Crimson Vow.
Mm-hmm.
Tap, sacrifice, pay 1, exile all graveyards, draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
It's on different abilities with Soul Guide Lantern, and I don't like that.
I think that lantern, whatever that one was.
Yeah, what the fuck is that card?
It should be this one because you're going to see why in a little bit. You want to exile stuff out of your own graveyard because that's part of the plan.
Oh, good catch.
Right? Like
Lantern of the Lost enters the battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard. You go 1, tap, exile Lantern and the Lost. So it exiles itself.
Mm-hmm.
Exile all cards from all graveyards, then draw a card.
Yeah. I think that goes better in this particular deck. And it costs exactly the same to do all that stuff.
Soul Guide Lantern's good when you want to get that one card when it ETBs.
Yeah.
But how often do you want to get all the graveyards from everybody? That's why you play these cards.
Yeah.
Soul Guide Lantern doesn't also allow you to draw a card. And in this deck, you want to get all graveyards, including your own, and you want to draw a card because remember, we're doing the Doomsday piles.
That's right.
You could use it to draw a card. Mm-hmm. Dang. Play Soul Guide Lantern, play Lantern in the Lost there, Anthony Bockley.
Correct. Next card, Resculpt.
Resculpt, ooh. Destroy a thing, they get a 4/4.
Exile a thing, they get a 4/4.
Oh, sure.
So it's a little better. Spine of Ish-Saw.
Destroy a thing, and then...
Whelming Wave.
Oh, return all creatures to their owner's hands except for krakens, leviathans, octopuses, and serpents. Man, I wish that said crabs.
That's it for... I think the shell stuff is essentially gonzo.
I think that's it.
Into the... What did Abe Buckholes do to create a mono-blue Doomsday pile of a deck on top of this shell?
Well, let's just... Is there anything else we need to say about the shell? That isn't going to be covered in strengths and weaknesses.
No.
Okay.
We'll just get to it in strengths and weaknesses. Everybody's listened to it. We got counterspells, we got card drawing, we got removal. It's all fairly efficient. Yes, there are top-end cards, and there's some obviously lower-end cards that aren't included here. Mm-hmm. But this is a solid budget blue shell anybody could build, and you could build virtually any deck around it.
And because we're skimping on budget section this week, because we don't have a lot of like $80 and $100 cuts to make, let's cover it now. This isn't the type of shell that is like 5-color control, where it's like a bunch of sweepers and mana base that can cast anything at any time.
Yeah.
This is a fairly easy, and I think maybe that's what contributes to the stigma a little bit, shell to build and have it be good.
Yeah.
Right? You could spend like less than $50 or just pull all of the brainstorms and considers and ops and preordains, put them in a deck, and you could make this deck or a Talran deck or an Urza deck or a Orvar deck, another very popular mono blue, right?
Yeah, you could build any one of those decks with this. But what did Buckhole do? What did Buckholes do with that mold?
He broke it, and he broke the Doomsday mold.
Ooh!
Which is typically black inclusive, because, you know, Doomsday being a black card and all. So,
should we talk tutors? Or should we tell them the combo and then tell them what we're going to do to make it work?
You know what? Let's
do recursion first. Let's do that first.
Okay, yeah, because that is part of it.
We have an Argavian Restoration.
This is return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay.
Emery, Lurker of the Lock.
Cost 1 less for each artifact you control. We don't care. When Emery enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library into your graveyard. That could be important.
Yeah.
That could be important because if you could have that in your hand and then you do the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So remember that. It exile or it removes cards from your graveyard. That's good. Tap. Choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast it this turn. Okay.
Cool.
So if our combo artifact is in our graveyard, because it got destroyed, we can get it back still.
Yes. We have a Workshop Assistant and a Mirror Retriever.
When they die, we just get an artifact back.
Correct.
Okay. Let's do the tutors now.
All right. 2 tours. We've got 2. On first glance, you're going to say, what the fuck are we doing here? So let's start with those. We have Foresight and Manipulate Fate.
Okay, both sorceries for 2 mana, blue 1. Search your library for 3 cards, exile them. And then the difference is Manipulate Fate says draw a card, and Foresight says draw a card at the beginning of next upkeep.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we're doing that. We also have a Selective Memory.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Search your library for any number of non-land cards. Exile them all. Then shuffle.
Jeez.
Okay.
Reshape.
Reshape. As an additional cost to cast, you sacrifice an artifact. Any artifact. Blue X. Sacrifice an artifact. That's the total cost. Search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost X or less and put it onto the B. Then shuffle. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Tribute Mage.
Search your library for an artifact that costs 2, put it into your hand. I wonder what could cost 2 that we're going to get.
Whir of Invention. I like this one.
It's got Improvise, so it lets your artifacts tap to help pay its mana cost. Blue, 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 X. And you can pay... You can't do colored mana with that, right?
No, that's Convoke. It's not Convoke.
Yeah, okay. So you can just tap artifacts to help pay for X.
Yes.
Search your library for an artifact card with a converted mana cost X or less. Put it onto the battlefield. And this is an instant. This is very good. This is Court of Calling, but for artifact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now.
So we're tutoring. We're...
Exiling.
We're also playing a crashing drawbridge. We'll keep going just past that. What are we gonna do with all that stuff?
We're gonna Doomsday. Now, we're playing mono blue, and you might have said, oh, well, if you're exiling libraries and if you're drawing at instant speed, you're probably playing Lab Maniac and Jace, Wielder of Mysteries. And of course we are.
Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Of course we are. And we didn't want to just say Lab Maniac, Jace, and Thassa's Oracle at the start of the episode, because then nobody would have watched it or listened to it, right?
You should be watching it because it's good.
But we are playing those.
Yeah.
But how those contribute to the mono blue doomsdayedness of the deck, I think that's an adjective, right?
Yeah, man.
I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is with a little card that you've probably never heard of or played with that costs 35 cents called Mirror of Fate.
Mirror of Fate?
Mirror of Fate. Give it a read.
The 5-mana artifact that says tap, sack it, choose up to 7 face-up exiled cards you own, exile all cards from your library, then put the chosen cards on top of your library?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
So we would tutor for that. It costs 5, and there's no, tutor for thing that costs 5, wizard.
Right.
So that's not what the trophy or trinket mage or whatever was for.
Right.
We'll get to some other stuff in a minute. But essentially, we can exile our own stuff with our tutors and with our draws, and get this, with our delve spells, because we've got Treasure Cruise and a Dig Through Time.
Correct.
We can exile our whole library then and get those previously exiled cards back.
Ooh.
Yeah. And those cards could be like a Gitaxian Probe or other draw spells like Gush, and we can, for free, draw Lab Maniac or Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, cast them, and then Gitaxian Probe or Gush again, or for the first time if we cast the other one, and win the game.
Right.
That is how Doomsday works. But what's interesting about this is it's mono blue, and we're using a little known gem called Mirror of Fate.
Yeah. Mirror of fucking Fate. It's, Jesus. Everybody looks at that card and says, man, this card sucks. I'm never playing it.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So we wanted to feature the deck because, again, it both demonstrates what the mold is, and that we broke it. And that we broke the Doomsday mold.
Yeah.
Because you don't actually need Doomsday to Doomsday if you don't want to play Doomsday, because like Mono Blue, the card, the archetype, the shell of Doomsday has its own baggage.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a CEDH deck, and it is a combo instant win deck, and it is something that in casual circles or on Rule Zeros you should probably say this is a Doomsday deck. I'm playing a Doomsday deck, or I have tutors to find Doomsday, but it's not like an instant win, or it is an instant win. Whatever the Doomsday baggage is, you have it.
Yes.
But with this deck, you kind of don't. You would only just have to say, this is my mono blue Doomsday deck. And if nobody knew what Doomsday was, you would just tell them what Doomsday did, and they say, well, that's black. And you go, exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't include that card. And they go, oh, that's interesting. And then you give them a unique experience.
And we should also point out we're playing Grand Architect Pilla-Palla combo as well.
Pilla-Palla costs 2. That's what the Tribute Mage gets.
Yes, it's a scarecrow, neat, that flies, cool, that costs 2, obviously. It's a 1/1 that you pay 2 and untap it to get a mana of any color. And Grand Architect makes it so that you can tap a blue creature for 2 mana that you can only use to do artifact things, but you can also make artifact creatures blue with it, so you make Pilla Pala Blue, tap it for 2, use the 2 to untap it for a mana, tap it for 2, use the 2 to untap it for a colored mana, therefore giving yourself infinite mana to do whatever you want.
What do you do with it, though?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I assume you use that to power out a Mirror of Fate early after maybe you've got your tutor in your hand and your Mirror of Fate and you can just do all of the stuff all in one turn maybe because you've drawn lots of cards.
We've got X spells in Whir of Invention and the other one that we tutor with.
But they just find the mirror, right? So you gotta... That's what I'm assuming it's in there for. I would, in my head, when I was looking at this deck, I would add a Blue Sun Zenith for the Bloomsday, as I was saying, right? You can just draw everybody out, which would be quasi-handy. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think you really need that in there, but I'm sure Buckholes has a reason for it.
Yeah, Blue Sun is good because it allows us to draw or our opponents to draw. Mm-hmm. And that is another kind of probably shell piece. I think it would be super cool to have a Drowned in Dreams because you could draw mill.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
That's
a good one. That's a good one. I think those would be fine if you had those in.
Yeah.
Because they fit what the deck's trying to do, and they also just help you.
I mean, you could also load this deck up with Graveyard Hate and self-mill.
Yeah.
Like traumatize yourself and do all this terrible stuff to yourself to get more stuff into your graveyard and then just exile the whole thing.
Yep.
And then get it back with your mirror and win. Like, there's lots of different directions you could go with this deck.
Yeah, and I actually asked Anthony, like, speaking of breaking the mold, I say, wouldn't this deck be better if it was blue-white? Because then you have access to white removal and control, white reanimation, just to get more if that's what you need, and also Pull from Eternity. Because Pull from Eternity takes an exiled card and puts it into your library. And then you could do with it, into your graveyard. Then you could do with it what you will once it's in your graveyard. You could reanimate it. You could cast it again. You could get her backers like Archaeomancer and Mnemonic Wall. And
let me hit you with this, Ryan.
Okay.
Let me hit you with this. Instead of adding white, we could add black, and then we could just play Doomsday.
Oh.
Right, that's why you don't add white, because it's a mono blue deck.
I suppose.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be a blue deck anymore if you added white.
That's right, and it wouldn't be a mono Bloomsday deck if you just added Doomsday.
Exactly.
Because then it would be a Doomsday deck, and that's why we're breaking the mold.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, yes, adding white isn't the same as adding black, but I think that
because white doesn't have Doomsday.
Exactly, precisely, and I think that the blue shell that we're playing here is cool, and like. I'm happy that it's the way that it is.
Okay, well, a couple other things really quick. We do have a couple modal double-faced cards that are lands or like look at the top of your library, blah, blah, blah. So
sure.
That's a thing. Buried Ruin gets you an artifact back from your graveyard to your hand. Mm-hmm. Gets you your Mirror of Fate if you need. We've got Mystic Sanctuary and maybe, and I don't know how it's still at this point in time a hidden gem or at least underplayed, Cephalid Colosseum.
Yeah.
So... Mystic Sanctuary, of course, if you've got enough islands, which we would, it gets you a card back from your graveyard. It puts on top of your library.
Cool.
Get her backer on a land, very good card. And also Cephalid Colosseum, if you've got Threshold, it taps, you go blue tap, sacrifice it, target player draws 3 cards, then discards 3 cards. Very important in either a Doomsday deck because it gives you draw on a land, or in a Labman deck for the same reason, draw on a land. Yes. Or in a Dredge deck because draw on a land.
That's right. I used to play that in Dredge. It's really good.
Yeah, Cephalid Colosseum is cornerstone on a lot of Dredge mana bases. If you can't afford the old Bazaar Baghdad or something, stay tuned for a future CCO's Top 5 and 5.
Yes. Oh, man.
So that's the deck.
That's the whole deck. Now... I'm going to do recommendations right now or questions as to why these aren't here. Because, I mean, the deck's being cutesy. It's doing a thing. But I feel like it would do well to have something like a Mystical Tutor instead of some of maybe the other tutors to just get something to do what you want to do. Mystical Tutor is probably the best way of doing that. And a Leveler. Because
10/10 for 5, enters the battlefield, exile your whole library.
Yep.
Dang, classic.
Yeah. Like classic. That's just, and I mean, that just goes along with the Thoracle Labman Jace pile, right? Like,
Yeah.
you could go Infinite Pilla Mana, Leveler Labman. It does the same exact thing as the combo, but just on one card that you can include in the deck and not actually lose anything.
Yeah, you know what? And we are playing that Crashing Drawbridge, which just tap creatures you control gain haste until end of turn, and we are playing Swiftfoot Boots. Like, if you had a leveler, 10/10, nothing to be scoffed at, and got it, and somebody was at less than 10, you just equip it and attack and they die.
Yeah.
You don't even need to do the Doomsday thing. And, I mean, not very often is your only opponent left at 10 life and has no blockers around the time where you're looking to do this and not looking to combo to try and kill everybody.
But the one time it happens is going to be so good.
Yes, and there is something to be said about breaking the mold with something like that.
Yeah.
Like the one time ever that I killed somebody with combat damage was Snapcaster Mage and Bruvac.
Yeah, like that'll probably never happen again.
Guys at 3 life.
But it happened once, and once is enough sometimes.
You know what? It felt so good to do something like that. Like you say, the one time is enough. The one time that happened, it felt so good that I actually put in a Sword of Body in mind, and I'm putting a Blackblade Reforged into Bruvac.
Nice.
Just so people are like, oh yeah, attack you? I got to go on the combat plan because you're going to mill me. Oh, you're tapped out? Blackblade Reforged. Take 14.
Yeah, die.
Oh, man. It felt so good to hit somebody with Bruvac that it's like it informed the deck.
Nice.
Right? So if you put a leveler in there, maybe you do want that.
Yeah, and I mean, you could go, Leveler Mirror of Fate, and then just like put some cards back, right? Now your library's not gone.
Hey, that's a good idea.
You could change all sorts of shit
7-card
up.
library, 70 damage off a leveler over 7 turns with the rest of your mono blue like package to keep people from blocking or playing shit.
You just put all your draw and all of your counters back in your library to protect the leveler.
All your bounce spells.
So you can just kill people with the leveler. That would be amazing.
That would be so sick. And it provides an alternate win con that just is totally off the wall.
Can you imagine saying, I made a whole table scoop to leveler?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You know what? And if you're putting leveler in, you got to put Eater of Days in.
There you go.
It's like a 9/8 for 4. Skip your next 2 turns. Maybe if you put in an Eater of Days, you might want to stifle. Maybe you want to counter that ETB.
Yes, that might be a thing.
That ETB ability. Oh man, that's gonna be our next deck. Leveler, Eater of Days.
And we just did it. We already did it.
Fuck, we broke the mold.
We used this shell, and we built that deck too.
Oh yeah.
We just built every blue deck. It's awesome.
Putting our money where our mouth is. Yet we're playing Bruvac beats with Leveler, Eater of Days, Stifle. You know what? If we're playing Stifle, we might as well play Phyrexian Dreadnought.
Absolutely.
And if we're playing Phyrexian Dreadnought, we might as well play Phyrexian Soul Gorger. We're going to have Thopter tokens to sacrifice to the cumulative upkeep.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is a triggered ability. At the beginning of your upkeep, you put an age counter on it. Is that how cumulative upkeep is written?
Yeah.
Well, it's a triggered ability. We're already playing Stifle.
Oh.
Play Trick Bind.
Oh.
Man, we won't even have to sacrifice our guys. 9/9 for 3.
We're so good at this.
Man, is there any blue flings? Blings? That's our next challenge. Mono blue fling.deck. Break the mold, baby. Like just like lots of times this is like drunk texting at 3 a.m. or like in the bar after F&M or just theory crafting, bullshitting. But that's what our whole show is about.
Yeah, that's why we have a show.
Breaking the mold.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
Break the mold, people. Challenge the status quo. And you know what? If you say, well, I need this and this and this and this and this.
Don't.
Well, I mean, if you actually do.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes.
Right? Like Doomsday is 1 card, and we need like 2 or 3 cards to do it in mono blue.
Yeah.
Like, I need this and this and this and this and this and this to actually break the mold. Start cutting the shell. Start cutting the things that are like the same as every other deck.
Yeah, cut the boring stuff.
And sure, that might make it a little bit less powerful as a shell.
You're playing mono blue Doomsday. Do you want it to be CDH? Like, come on now.
Oh, man. Okay. Strengths and weaknesses.
Strengths and weaknesses.
I think that we've demonstrated some of the strengths, but, I mean, it's monocolor, which
we always view as a strength because it's straight ahead bulldozery easy to pick up, hard to master. And those are always fun.
Easy to do, hard to master from a build perspective and a place perspective, because you have so much more power when you have more colors, because you can do more things.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could argue, there's colors that do everything, like blue and green can draw and reanimate and thing and this and that and this. But if you made a blue-green deck, it would be better than a blue deck or a green deck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Budget.
Very
affordable deck.
Yes, everybody listening right now probably has most of this deck already, and if you don't, get them from your friends, and then go out and buy the $5 worth of cards that you need at FusionGamingOnline.com. CCO Spring.
Oh, there you go.
Saves you 5% off the cards that you want.
There it is. Now, the strengths and weaknesses of this deck kind of merge together. There's an overlap. There's a gray area where I say, like, it's a lab man win, you could instant win. But it's a lab man win, you could instant win.
Yes.
I just use a little bit different voice inflection, and you can hear the strength.
Yeah.
And
it's a monocolor deck. It's a monocolor deck. It's a mono blue deck. It's a mono blue deck.
It's that mono blue deck.
Yeah, when somebody says, "Oh, I'm playing mono blue," this is the deck. It draws cards, it bounces creatures, it counters spells. That's what it does.
I'm gonna one up it again.
Uh-oh.
It's a budget mono blue deck. Oh, I just got beat by a budget mono blue deck. Right? Lenny's just rolling in his grave, hey?
Yeah.
You bastards, my Urza deck is...
Yeah. Gumball Arkham Dagson, baby.
It almost is.
It almost
is. Does Arkham, is he the weakness, or is he's a strength? He's a tutor commander. He lets us do the thing that we want to do because we can search for Mirror of Fate right out of our command zone. Does he have baggage like Urza has baggage, or other mono blues have baggage?
Not at this point. But this is one of those decks that you're going to show up with it and you're going to play it once, do the thing, and everybody's going to be onto you. Then it will have baggage.
Yeah, and is that a strength or a weakness? Because everybody gets onto you and that feels like a weakness. But once they learn that the deck can be interesting or can be fun or is the leveler, exile my library, get the cards back, shenanigans. I hate to use the word, but
well, it is.
It is. Once they find out that it's also that, like, does that open up the doors? Like,
well, no, because you're still playing 11 counter spells, 14 removal spells, and 22 draw card spells. Like,
yeah.
This is a hard deck to say no. It's because it is fun and it is unique and it is really interesting, but it's also the mono blue deck that everybody is picturing in their head right now. So it's a tricky one. That's one of the downsides to this deck. It's cool and it's unique and it's awesome. But it is also that deck. You're
right. And I can relate to exactly that, again, because my Bruvac deck is like that. And it's not budget, and it does have the Force of Wills, the Force of Negations, a Mana Drain. It does have all the free counter spells. But I don't know, maybe I politic differently, or I don't counter your stuff unless it's trying to kill me. Like, there's a way to make this fun.
You can make any deck fun. Von Doom says it about me all the time. I'm gonna brag a little bit. Where I play my Stax Traxa deck.
Yeah.
And it's a Stax deck that pulls 0 punches.
Yeah.
But he always says, man, I play against Brando's Stax deck all the time. And it's fun because Brando's fun.
Maybe it's the attitude you bring into it.
And that's how decks like this are fun, is if you're fun to play with, the deck will be fun to play against. And that's true of virtually any deck.
Yeah,
because like I say, I have it's a Stax deck,
and bonus points, points in your Stax deck if you have an interesting win con.
Yeah,
bonus point or something that's fun or funny. Bonus points in your mono blue deck if you're doing Doomsday. Bonus points in your mono blue deck if you're doing Bruvac beats with sort of blue and green.
Yeah,
give him protection from blue. I can't even bounce my own guy if he's gonna die just because I want to kill you with it, like attacking you for 3, like for 7 turns in a row.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a thing.
So, yeah, bonus points, I guess. Okay, final thing that we want to say about it before final thought of the day, because that kind of sounded like a final thought already.
Yeah.
We're not going to do spice calculators on some of these shell decks because they are essentially...
Yeah, this was every blue deck. The number's going to be low, but it doesn't mean the deck isn't spicy. It just means that it plays every blue card that you expect to see in a blue deck.
Honorary spice.
Absolutely. Because it's a Doomsday blue deck.
It's a Doomsday blue deck. Even more honorary spice because it's $87.
Yeah.
$87. Which is amazing.
You can do the blue thing on a budget.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think the gap between Mana Drain and Counterspell is that high.
It's $70.
I think it used to be. I think it used to be when everybody won with like I was going to say Crater Hoof, but that's still a thing.
Yeah.
But when
Genesis Wave for 40.
Or Tooth and Nail. When
Yeah.
Tooth and Nail was Green's most powerful win con, and you could counterspell a Tooth and Nail and get like 9 mana.
Yeah.
But now everybody's win cons are like 4 or 5 mana or combo with my commander for cheap, efficient.
Yeah.
I don't think the gap between Force of Will or between Mana Drain and Counterspell is that high.
Yeah.
And I think things like Dispel and all those cheap counterspells are also good for the same reason.
They all counter spells.
And there's more instants, there's more sorceries, there's more stuff that costs. And there's more people using the exact amount of mana so they can't pay for like mana drains and mana tides. Or sorry, mana leaks and mana
Force
tides.
spikes.
Force spike? Oh! Can you imagine?
No.
You ever gotten force spiked in EDH?
I did, but I could pay for it.
Oh fuck, bro! I got dazed one time. I got hard cast daze.
Oh.
Like didn't even like return an island or whatever to his hand.
Oh.
Cast daze for blue 1. Countered my thing unless I paid 1.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't pay the 1.
Dang.
Hard cast daze. Countered my shit.
Rip.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah, because you're using all your mana now.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing the most efficient version of EDH or trending in that way, right?
Yeah.
As per last week's episode.
Yep.
And we, over the next few weeks, are aiming to break that mold.
Yeah, break that cycle.
Super cool. You know what? Since last week, I've gotten 3 or 4 emails and messages of people saying, it's my mission to only play 3 mana rocks now because of you guys. Or,
that's
I
fantastic.
want to not do the thing that everybody else is doing, right? So this is the start of it. We're starting a revolution.
Oh, I'm happy we're doing it.
The
We're helping.
CCO, I was going to say revolution. How do I fit revolution? Revolution. The CCO revolution.
I don't know. We're going to figure it out. We're going to get back to it next week.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
But last couple things on Arc and Decktech. 2.62 average CMC.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Well, efficiency, right?
Yeah,
The
efficiency.
shell, the brainstorms, the ponders, right?
That's right.
87 tutors,
Yeah.
which is,
It's-
we're comboing with something in the 99. You're going to have to find it.
It's going to hurt you.
26th among blue commanders is Arc and Decktech.
Puts him right beneath Artemis All-Seeing, who I forgot was even a card.
I think it's Atempsis.
I don't care.
Artemis.
Attempsis.
Just add letters.
And he's right above Cosima, God of the Voyage.
I play that card.
I used to play that card, but I've since cut it from every deck that I played.
I played just the Omen Keel. I pretend that I pretend that Cosima is a magic card back.
Nice.
And the Omen Keel is a vehicle for Calamax to ride in.
I like it. Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
There it is. And boats. And soon to be mech suits.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, I guess we'll be talking about that in the next couple weeks.
They've even spoiled a mech suit already.
I know.
A mech suit and a hover bike? Oh, man.
Man.
We've got lots of cool stuff coming up.
That's it. Okay, well, Anthony Bockley, huge thanks for sending it in. We love decks like this.
Mm-hmm.
We love breaking the mold. We're going to be doing it for the next few weeks. FusionGamingOnline.com, CCO Spring, new code. So use it. Let Fusion know that the new code doesn't stop you from using
The code.
And
saving money on cards that you're going to buy anyway.
very much so. Big thanks to all the patrons. Big thanks to our newest patron, All Schiller No Pillar.
All Schiller, no pill. All shill, no pill.
All Shill No Pill. Final thought of the day?
Final thought of the day was given a few minutes ago. You can run the show back and listen to it there.
Get those YouTube watch minutes up, eh?
Yeah, that's right. Big thanks again to A. Buckholes for sending the deck in. Big thanks to you for being here. Big thanks to Fusion Gaming Online for helping us out with promo code CCO Spring and for helping us keep the lights on and delivering high-quality Magic content to you every single week. And we're going to be back next week with another shell on another episode of Commander Cookout Podcast. Hit our theme song!